Good morning, good afternoon and good evening, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. I hope you're having a fantastic day. In today's video on the series of things you missed in Elden Ring, we're going to be starting our journey through the Consecrated Snowfields. I have really not been looking forward to doing this area. It's very hard and very confusing. We start off at the Site of Grace that we lit at the end of the hidden path to the Haligtree. And as we start our venture into the Consecrated Snowfields, just keep heading directly north, and in no time at all you'll be able to light the Consecrated Snowfield Site of Grace. I've put a marker to lead us towards the map piece for the area, and on the way you'll see we very quickly come upon yet another Grace site. So light that one too, then we'll go and grab the map and we'll start exploring the area. I've now teleported back to the second Site of Grace that we lit, and I am heading directly southwest towards this caravan off in the distance. Firstly, I'm going to bait out these two lightning orbs and wait round the corner for them to use their attacks and then disappear. And then we encounter one of the most difficult boss fights in the game, the Knights Cavalry duo. I was fighting these guys for about an hour, and I only sent my last few attempts over to David because I did not want anyone to have to sit through the pain that I went through. It is possible to aggro just one of them at once. That's exactly what I'm going to try and do after this first failed attempt. Genuinely, I thought I was getting quite good at fighting the Knights Cavalry by this point in the game, but I must have died to these guys 20 plus times. So there's a few more deaths, and that's just while trying to take out the cavalry with the flail, which is actually the weaker of the two. So after dying again and again and again, I finally decide to get a little bit cheesy, and it goes even better than I could have hoped. So I start to attempt to lead both of the cavalry up onto this cliff. I lose track of them, and I'm suddenly no longer in a boss fight. Perfect. I'm going to use this opportunity to clear out the caravan. So let's take all these guys out at the back of the caravan. Oh, shit. Oh, they're back. They are both back. Okay, now we run very, very swiftly, and hopefully we can lose them both again, which we have done successfully. So now I'm going to head to the front of the caravan and take out the two giant yetis. Be super careful with these guys, because as soon as you attack them, the chains will break and they can now come after you, unlike the trolls pulling the other caravans that are permanently stuck there. Now you can go and loot the chest, which is the flowing curved sword. And now it's time for round, I don't know, like 60 or something. Luckily, only the Knights Cavalry with the flail has come back to fight me. I have no idea where his mate's gone, and by this point, I'm finally starting to learn, and I'm actually getting somewhere. So he goes down without too much trouble, and I do have a few healing items left. And then, have you spotted him? Can you see his friend off in the distance? Stuck halfway up the cliff. Incredible! So, we're going to sneak around here and pray to God that we can cheese him. Oh, this is some tasty cheese. Look at this! Right, the cheese doesn't completely kill him, but it has knocked him off of his horse, yet his horse is still alive. So he's now not attacking me because he's trying to mount up, but he can't summon his horse because his horse still exists. So he goes down very easily, and we are rewarded with the entire Knights Cavalry set plus an ancient dragonsmithing stone. Any less of a reward would have made me very angry. The hours I spent trying to kill these bastards. But that reward makes me very happy, and it was worth it. Now we'll go on to the next tip. Get yourself back to the inner Consecrated Snowfield Grace site, and I've marked a load of markers on the map in between the two sites of Grace. Before we head to the cluster of markers I've put on the right hand side, firstly head to the southwest and you'll see marker 1 off at the bottom left over here that we're now going to go and visit. Firstly, right here at the bottom of this giant tree is a golden rune 13 plus a load of rhymed crystal buds and an arteria leaf. Shortly after that, heading southeast and rounding the corner, you'll come across an ancestor and an ancestral shaman, and once you've taken them both out, you can get the Stalwart horn charm +1. Now we're going to go all the way over to the east to the cluster of the markers I've put on the map over there. On the way, as you can tell, I'm still a little bit salty from the Knights Cavalry fight, so I try my best to unalive the horse. Unfortunately, it is truly bugged out and it's currently invincible, so we're going to have to leave it to it. Okay, now make your way up this giant frozen tree trunk sticking out of the ground. At the top are a few more of them lightning balls you're going to have to hide from, or just avoid their attacks as best you can. And then right at the top, you can get a Somber smithing stone 9. Now I'm going to spend a little bit of time aggroing and running around all of the lightning balls so that they can all sod off and we can loot in peace. Once they're dead, over to the northeast, you'll see a few tombs here with a golden rune 11, and also there's a golden seed. I will find it eventually. I miss it now, but I spot it later, so I'll show you it later. And as I was on the map figuring out where to go next, I started to hear thudding. I thought, oh god, what is that? I closed the map and there's two massive yetis right next to me, which was quite handy because they were what I was going to try and find next. So let's deal with everyone at the rear of the caravan first, then we'll swing around the front and take out the yetis as well. As I say, be very careful. They have 10,000 health and they will come and try and murder you. Then once they're all dead, we can loot the caravan and get St. Trina's torch. Now we're going to head north for the last tip for this area, and on the way I'm just going to activate this gatekeeper statue as well. And as we get here, you'll see there's a few wandering nobles. One of them is actually stuck in the floor. He is a rune bear in disguise. And guess what's about to happen when he grabs me? Yep, all gone. So I'm not even going to bother trying. I'll just tell you, he drops a larval tear. I've got about 12 of them, so it's not worth trying. And I will come back for the golden seed that I missed later on. Hold that thought. Let's move into the next tip, and I will grab it later. Now we're going to go back to the first site of grace, the Consecrated Snowfield, and grab a few items from the markers around here. So once you get here, head west, and eventually you'll see a load of tombs. There is also a rotten duelist walking around. Once you take out him, he will drop the rotten battle hammer and the rotten duelist helm. The battle hammer is a pretty strong strike weapon, and the rotten battle hammer has pretty much identical stats. It has like 1 or 2 reduced base damage, but it has innate scarlet rot buildup. So if you like the battle hammer, it's really good. Strongly advise trying it out if it fits in with your build. And also you can grab the golden runes whilst you're here as well. Now from here we can head slightly northeast, and on this corpse is a Nomadic Warriors Cookbook 23. And I am gonna have a little rant here because of this fucking hacker. I got summoned to another world as a hunter to protect the host of fingers, and the adversary here had on an invincibility hack along with infinite stamina and infinite FP. Can someone please explain to me how this is fun? What does he gain from this? What is the point? As far as I can tell, there's no way to report him, and no one wins. We're all just stood here watching him be invincible. It just breaks my heart. Please, please don't. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to admit defeat, use the finger severer, and return back to my world. Okay, so now that we're back in the Consecrated Snowfields, we're now going to head east, and somewhere around here is a teardrop scarab that's going to drop a smithing stone for us. Takes me ages to find him. Right off over in the corner here is a load of snails and a golden rune 11. And then finally, as I start making my way back the other way, I notice him just here clinging to the side of the cliff. When he dies, we get the Somber smithing stone 8, and that wraps up this area, so we can now move into the next one. Finally here at the start of this next tip, I have spotted the golden seed I was trying to find earlier on this little tiny tree just here. Now we're going to start heading north, slightly northeast, just where I've placed the first marker on the map. And as I'm heading there, oh my god, I just realised I should have made the pun that we took out a rotten duelist, and then I was summoned into a world to take out another rotten duelist because he was cheating. Oh god, don't leave that in. But do, but don't, but do. As we're nearing the marker, we'll see a load of graven heads surrounding this item. I take out one of them and realize they take ages to take out and give me like no runes. So we're going to grab the Glintstone Craftsman's Cookbook 8, and we're just going to ignore the others and move on. We are now at the Albinauric Rise, and it's here that we have to use the Fanged Imps. So get your Fanged Imp Spirit Ashes and summon them. And I'm not sure exactly what it is that triggers the opening of the Rise. I just know you need to use the Ashes. So I run around the back here with my Fanged Imps in tow. I kill the other imps that are just walking around the Rise. And after the last one dies, the seal opens. So I'm not sure exactly what it was that triggered it, but just make sure you summon yours, kill all the imps, and then you should be in. And at the top of the tower is a Graven Mass Talisman, which greatly raises the potency of sorceries. So if you're using a sorcery build and you want an extra bit of punch to your spells, this is the talisman for you. Now we're going to jump back down the cliffs and head towards the other marker that I put on the map earlier on in this tip. Here you will see a red wolf mini-boss and a portal. The wolf destroys me, but luckily we don't need to use the portal yet. That will actually be coming up right at the start of part 2 of the Consecrated Snowfields. So I'm going to leg it back and grab my souls. Then I will meet you to the northeast of the Consecrated Snowfield site of Grace, right in the corner of this mountain here that I'm just about to bring up on the map, as this is the entrance to the Consecrated Snowfield Catacombs. So now let's start going through this dungeon together. These catacombs. Oh, where do I start? I'm already getting so sick of this area, and we're barely even a third of the way in yet. Honestly, this is a really challenging region, and I can see why so many items are missed here, because you really do just want to get in and get out. And this dungeon in particular has everything you hate about dungeons. It's full of imps, it's full of traps, it's full of Erdtree Burial Watch cats. So once we've come up these stairs, defeated the first few imps and got past this statue, what you want to do is jump on top of it and you can loot the rejuvenating boluses. Now head back down the next corridor and you'll see the door to the boss room. Turn right and come into this large area. Be very careful because there'll be a load of imps and a spell casting Erdtree Burial Watch cat as well. With the help of the statue, I'm going to use this to help me take him out. And now I'm going to trigger it so that it doesn't keep spraying the frostbite down into the western passage here so that I can safely run through. Be careful because a Fanged Imp will be waiting to ambush you on the right and there's another one throwing knives at you from above. So once they've been taken out, we're going to go underneath the stairs and through here. Be careful as there's a clean rot knight in this room, and then once he's dead you can grab the Grave Glovewort 8. And also because we sent the frost breathing statue upstairs, it will be ready to breathe frost all over you, so be very careful heading up these stairs and try and not do what I did. Then off in the corner is a Grave Glovewort 9. Through into this room are 2 more clean rot knights, and once you've cleaned them up, see what I did there? You can grab a Ghost Glovewort 9. Now you want to jump on top of the statue, send it back up with you. You can trigger the lever for the boss room and also grab a Grave Glovewort 9 and a Golden Rune 12. Now I'm going to jump back down into the main room, grab the root resin here, and once we've dealt with the imp, we'll start heading through the eastern passage, collecting the Grave Glovewort 8 on the way. And then in this next room, be very, very careful because no less than 4 or 5 imps will start attacking you all at once. Once you've killed all them, you can get yet another Grave Glovewort 9. And now there's only 2 more things to do in this dungeon, being the boss and an item behind another Erdtree Watch cat, which we haven't got yet, so we'll collect that once we've done the boss. As we head into the boss room, you'll see it's a putrid Grave Warden Duelist, and apart from having more health and dealing more damage, he's no different than the other Grave Warden Duelists that we fought previously. And you will receive the Rotten Gravekeeper Cloak and 2 Great Grave Glovewort. Try saying that 5 times fast. Now we'll head back into the main room, through the western door, and up the stairs where the imp was throwing knives at us. You'll see the Erdtree Burial Watch cat I was on about, and there's an epic item just in front of him. Unfortunately, I am now going to start getting really impatient trying to take him out, and die around half a dozen times. So I'll ask David to just leave in a little death montage for you as I'm having a little rant. And finally, on my last attempt, when I do take him out, we can now go through into this room and loot a Grave Glovewort 9 and the Imp Head Elder, which increases your faith by 2 and looks incredible. This is amazing. We look so freakish. With that, we are officially about a third of the way through the Consecrated Snowfields, so I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to say please consider liking and subscribing if you've enjoyed the video, and if you want to show even more support for the channel, down below is a link to become a member of the channel, a Knight of Dom's Roundtable, and thank you so much to everyone who is already a member of the channel. Even more importantly, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Oh, and in the corner of the room, you can grab 8 human bone shards.